The Taj Mahal shimmered under the afternoon sun. A soft breeze rustled through the cypress trees, carrying the scent of jasmine and roses. Lovers strolled hand in hand, their laughter echoing through the majestic courtyard. Arjun smiled, watching Maya twirl, her eyes sparkling with joy. They were celebrating their engagement, the monument to eternal love, a poignant backdrop to their own blossoming story. He had promised her the world, unaware that their world was about to be turned upside down. A sudden commotion shattered the serenity. Shouts, screams, a stampede of tourists rushed towards the gates, their faces etched with terror. Arjun's heart pounded in his chest. Something was terribly wrong. He gripped Maya's hand, his eyes scanning the crowd for the source of the panic. Before he could react, a deafening explosion ripped through the air, sending a tremor through the ground. The iconic dome of the Taj Mahal disappeared behind a cloud of dust and debris. Panic ensued. People fled in all directions, desperate to escape the nightmare unfolding before their eyes. Gunfire erupted, each shot like a hammer blow to Arjun's senses. Terrorists, their faces hidden behind black masks, stormed the compound, their AK-47s spitting fire and fury. They barked orders in a language Arjun didn't understand, herding terrified tourists like cattle. Arjun's blood ran cold. He had to get Maya to safety. He pushed her towards a secluded alcove, his voice a strained whisper. "Stay here. Don't move. No matter what you hear, do not come out." Maya clung to him, her eyes wide with fear. "Arjun, don't leave me!" He pried her fingers off his arm, his heart breaking at the terror he saw reflected in her eyes. "I'll be back. I promise." He pressed a small pendant into her hand, a token of his love and a promise of their future. Then he was gone, melting into the shadows, his mind racing. Arjun's phone vibrated in his pocket. It was his superior officer, his voice urgent and grave. "Arjun, where are you? We have a situation at the Taj. Code Black. I repeat, Code Black." Arjun's blood turned to ice. "Code Black. Hostages." "Maya." "Sir, I'm inside. I have eyes on the target." His voice was surprisingly calm, the years of training kicking in. His training, however, hadn't prepared him for this. To be on the front lines of a terrorist attack, his own fiancée held captive within the nation's most treasured monument. Orders were barked, a plan hastily formed. Arjun, familiar with the layout of the Taj, was a valuable asset. He was to join the National Security Guard, NSG, commandos, the elite counter-terrorism unit. Their mission: neutralize the terrorists and secure the release of the hostages. Arjun's mission: get to Maya. As he raced towards the rendezvous point, his mind replayed their last moments together. Her laughter, her touch, the promise in her eyes. He would not let this be their end. He wouldn't. The NSG commandos, clad in black combat gear, were grim-faced and determined. Time was of the essence. Every second that ticked by increased the risk to the hostages. They huddled around a digital blueprint of the Taj, their fingers tracing the intricate network of corridors and chambers. Arjun, his voice steady despite the turmoil within, pointed to a forgotten passageway, a secret whispered through generations of his family. "This passage," he said, tapping the faded parchment, "leads to a hidden chamber beneath the main dome. It was used by the royal family in times of war. It might be our best bet to get in undetected." The commander, a seasoned veteran with eyes that had seen too much bloodshed, nodded curtly. "It's a long shot, but it just might work. Let's move." The air hung heavy with anticipation as Arjun led the commandos down the narrow passage. The musty smell of earth and disuse filled their nostrils. The only sound was the rhythmic thud of their boots against the ancient stone steps. The passage opened into a dimly lit chamber, its walls adorned with faded frescoes depicting scenes from Mughal history. The air was thick with the weight of centuries past. Arjun could hear the terrorists' muffled voices echoing through the vents. They were close. He motioned for the team to fan out, their movements swift and silent. He could feel his heart pounding against his ribs, each beat a frantic drumbeat urging him forward. Maya was out there, somewhere in this labyrinth of stone and fear. He would find her. The next few hours were a blur of chaos, gunfire, and desperate prayers. The commandos, their faces grim masks of determination, fought their way through the historic monument, their every move precise and calculated. Arjun, fueled by love and adrenaline, was a man possessed. He took down terrorists with a cold fury, his only thought the woman he loved. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the main dome. The terrorists, their hostages huddled before them, were taken by surprise. A fierce firefight erupted, the sound deafening within the confines of the dome. Arjun, his eyes scanning the terrified faces of the hostages, spotted Maya. Their eyes met across the room, a silent promise passing between them. And then, it was over. The last of the terrorists lay dead, their reign of terror brought to an end. The hostages, their faces etched with relief and gratitude, were ushered to safety. Arjun rushed to Maya, enveloping her in a tight embrace. She clung to him, her tears a mixture of relief and terror. He held her close, whispering soothing words into her hair, their love a beacon of hope in the aftermath of the nightmare. As dawn broke, casting a golden glow over the ravaged monument, the world watched in awe and admiration. The Taj Mahal, a symbol of enduring love, had withstood yet another test of time. It stood tall and proud, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the triumph of love over hate.